Hello and welcome to the Rugby Sevens Rollercoaster. We're here to take you on the ups, the downs, the twists, the turns, and the excitement that is Premier Rugby Sevens, the sports league taking over the US with some of the best athletes our sport had to offer. I'm Dallen, Stanford, former USA Sevens player and current World Rugby commentator.
And I'm MacDowell, former Canadian Sevens player and current international coach. Together, we'll bring you the latest PR Sevens news.
Welcome to your new home for Sevens Rugby. Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the Rugby Sevens Rollercoaster, a North American-inspired podcast that focuses on the world of sevens. And Jeepers Creepers, we just received news of the rebranded, reimagined World Rugby Sevens Series, a massive focus on the entertainment and fan engagement portion of the festival we love so much. The HSBC Sevens will see 8 combined stops for the women and men as they head around the globe for the year 2023-2024. It starts in December in Dubai, December 2 and 3 in the United Arab Emirates. Then it's to my hometown, Cape Town, South Africa on December 9 and 10 for those back-to-back events. In 2024, the series continues with a standalone stop in Perth, Australia, which replaces Sydney. The date's January 26th through the 28th. Then stop 4 and 5 head to us in North America, with Robin hosting us at BC Place in Vancouver in February from 23 to 25, followed by Los Angeles, California, my hometown, for our USA event at Dignity Health Sports Park from March 2 to 3. 2 standalone events in Asia. We'll see Hong Kong, China welcome the world from April 5 to 7. And a month later, Singapore joins the party from May 3 to 5. The new format sees 12 women's and 12 men's teams like the Olympic setup. And the standings after Singapore are absolutely vital. The top 8 are safe, but those ranked 9 to 12 will join the top 4 Challenger Series teams at the final event in Madrid, where a promotion relegation event will be tighter than a facelift. The top 8 men's and women's teams will battle it out to see who's crowned champions of the series, while the top 4 sides in the promotion relegation tournament will stay on the series for the following season. Robin, so many big hits are taken ahead of the new HSBC series.
Almost as action-packed and as stressful as the previous sevens for the coaches. Higher stakes, higher rewards, and it's interesting to see a few standalone tournaments down ahead of the Olympic Games. It's going to be a massive year for World Rugby, both in obviously the upcoming Men's World Cup, and you got the World Series, and then culminating with the Olympics a year from now in Paris. But I know as a player, when I first went to the Commonwealth Games, which is our biggest pinnacle standalone event at the time, obviously multi-sport, it was weird for us. I mean, it wasn't like enough to affect your results or whatever, but it was weird that it was our, at the time, the only standalone tournament. And I think maybe a couple of these standalone tournaments might potentially up the quality. I don't know, but it definitely messes with the psyche as far as it being different and performance. I won't say people hold back from week 1 to week 2, but maybe they'll be a bit fresher. What are your thoughts on the standalones?
Yeah, it's interesting because half of them will be standalones and the other half will be back-to-back. And so that'll be interesting to see how teams manage it. So I think they've done a good job in terms of managing that. So at least that if you have a lot of teams were very good at the second round. I know when I played for the USA, we were pretty tired and banged up at the first events because our training was quite brutal under our coach, Al Carabelli. But then the second tournament, we would do a lot better, the back-to-back events. So you're right. Balancing that is going to be pretty interesting and pretty fascinating. I think for me also some of the stops are important too. You know, unfortunately, some cities and countries have lost events. So there's no London, no France, no New Zealand. That's, you know, where I made my debut. I think you may have made your debut there as well. So that's kind of interesting, but I do love the fan engagement proportion they're focusing on, which, by the way, is exactly what Premier Rugby Sevens is doing. So making a shorter block, more entertainment, fan festival, a music thing in the middle, 5 hours of fun. So I think they're on the right track, World Rugby, and it's pretty cool to see that, you know, PR Sevens was leading the way there as well.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it's a long day it's a long day for the staff at a sevens tournament and the players, most importantly, but also the fans, those that get in early, like the true goers, sometimes 8:30 in the morning, and they're there to 8:30 at night, and some days 2-time and 3-day events. I mean, they put in ship. Sometimes they deserve medals in the stands as well. But yeah, so I think they're trying to compact it, keep the quality high, keep the experience quick and short. That way they don't lose those fans.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's switch our attention now to the PR Sevens. We just witnessed another blockbuster event, the Western Conference Finals at PayPal Park in the Bay Area. You were there coaching the Loonies women's side. But let's first talk about outside of the actual rugby on-field action. What was your impression and thoughts on stop 3 of the 2023 season?
Yeah, well, I've got to say the atmosphere in San Jose was as intense on the field as it was in Minnesota. The Golden State crowd was really behind the Retrievers. There was such a strong support at the California Western Finals this past weekend. with the high stakes and so many family, friends, and fans in the stadium, the place was in full song from the word go.
Yeah, I love that. That is so great. And that's such an important part, equally to the action on the field. So let's talk about the action now, who's honestly tighter than what we've ever seen again. We'll start with the men's round, okay? So the men's semifinals, an absolute cliffhanger. 1 point the difference in the first game, 2 points in the second. The Experts beat the Loonies 15-14, and then the Rhinos ex-Loggerheads beat the Retrievers 17-15. Get out of town. Players that impressed, I love Marcus Tupuolo and Tala Talapusi in those fixtures, but again, super tight. And then they went into the third game, another thriller for the third place. Dan Norton slicing and dicing the Princess Sevens, winning it for the Loonies 24-21 against the Golden State Retrievers. That was for third place. That means the final contested by an inspired Rhinos ex-Loggerhead side with Branco du Preez, Ioane Temba, the Fijian fly, and Derek Adams on fire. For the Rocky Mountain Experts, Simiwala, Naima Fualalao, Madison Hughes, of course, but very close for them. They weren't able to get over the line. A fairy tale finish in the West as the fourth-seeded Rhinos ex-Loggerheads win the tournament and also secure their place in DC alongside the Experts at the top two in that region. It had everything you could ask for, Robs.
Yeah, it's it was super intense, both in the semifinal and the final, watching all those games back and forth the whole way with so many weapons that you just listed, Dallen. At any moment with just a crack in the door, anybody can bust through and score. In the end, I was happy for Frankie Horn and his boys to go well. Frankie's been obviously putting in a lot of work, and with all the weapons at his disposal, he was able to join me in DC.
Yeah, that's so great. And again, I love the concept that the fourth ranked side could have enough points if they do well enough at that second tournament, So that brings us to the women's side. The narrow margins continued. I want you to talk through this, but let's first go through the result for everyone to understand. The Loonies, your side, just taken out the Rhinos, ex-Loggerheads 19-14 in the semifinals. The Experts, the fourth ranked side, beating the Retrievers 10-7 in the semifinals. A remarkable victory, which then took us to the third place game. The Retrievers bouncing back. They beating the Rhinos ex-Loggerheads 17-7 in the third place. And then the Western Conference final, a shootout between the Experts and your Loonies, a lung-busting finish. The Experts claim it 14-10 to take the title and also book their spot alongside your Northern Loonies to DC. Again, it had it all.
Yeah, going back to that semifinal, we played first, and I was able to watch the Experts go against the Retrievers there, and sitting in the stands. There was three times where the Retrievers in the first half, Dallen, were inside the Experts 22, 3 forward passes. And they might have got away with it if they weren't directly passing it on the 22 because of that perfect line for the referee. But it was theirs for the taking. They also had a sin bin and also a red card. And so, at the end they were up 7-6 as far as players go. It was gutted for Griff at home, but well done to Irene and her girls going from, again, fourth place to first place. And, when Irene subbed Amanda Berger on in the last minute of the game, I was like, oh boy, if there's one person I don't want back on the field, it's that girl. But she's been there. She's original PR Sevens athlete. Nobody works harder, and I was happy to see her smile in the end. And for our players, Dallen, to be honest, it was great for us. We welcomed 6 new players, so I was really happy with how they kind of went throughout the week, and then obviously performed on the weekend. A couple old names back in the team, but most importantly, if you win every game, it can seduce you into thinking you have it figured out, and we definitely don't have it figured out. So it's going to be a good step back and preparation over the next few weeks.
Yeah, I would imagine, but that's the thing. The games are so tight. Now let's talk about some of the players that impressed you and, of course, who made the dream team in the women's competition.
For me, it was so great to see Chiharu Nakamura from Japan. For me, she's one of the best players in the world. Never someone you want to coach against, Dallen. And then my wife's favorite player, Riapi Alalusau from Fiji. In the first stop, she said, is Alalusau playing? I said, no, she's not. And then when I saw her on the roster week 2, she said, you're in trouble. And she scored 2 against us. The Canadian Spencer Bolt, Kaylin Tekatumu Cook from New Zealand. I was kind of eyeing her up over the week. What does that girl have? Didn't get a coach against her, didn't get a play against her. But, man, when she got the ball, she looked like Quade Cooper, even though she's a New Zealander. And then the Canadian legend, Caroline Crossley, was all over the field too, aerial success. And then all-time Saskatchewan's Carissa Norston. At 19 years old here, probably the last time I'll get a coach of Dallen. She's outgrown me, but she was all over the field too. And one of the most exciting players in the world and one of the best personalities who we'll have on this pod is Rafaela Zanellato from Brazil, the Olympian. So she's I think been probably one of the most exciting and most consistent players of this season.
Yeah, so many good stars and great performers indeed. And again, I say I'm a big fan of the high-stakes drama that PR Sevens has created, using the best bits we've seen on the Sevens Series. The fact that different competition points are awarded for different tournaments, calculated exactly so that a fourth-ranked team could still qualify for the championship at DC, is genius. So let's chat what's next. There's no rest for the PR7 staff as we head to Pittsburgh this coming weekend. I'll be back in the broadcast booth, last time teaming up with the legend Ruby Tui. So I hope she's back to cause some major laughs in Pennsylvania. We'll be on CBS Sports Network and then the PR7's YouTube. And for those outside of the US and Canada, PR7's Facebook page will have all the matches. The action sees 4 women's teams, 4 men's teams doing battle at Highmark Stadium on July 23 for the Eastern Conference Finals. Get your tickets at pr7s.com. And with 2 teams in each division advancing to DC, it is going to be again as tight as someone's skinny jeans. So prediction time, Robs. We've got the men's semifinals first. The Southern Headliners take on the New York Locals. And then the Texas team who won it last time take on the Pittsburgh Steel Toes. Your thoughts on those 2 matchups?
I mean, sometimes I know something about sevens, but it's going to be a barn burner. But I don't know. I think our good friend Tim might have something up his sleeve when he plays New York. So I'm gonna back the headliners in that game, and then the Texas team and Steel Toes. The Texas team's been on form, so I'm going to go with Texas team. But Pittsburgh finished strong in the last one, and they're playing at home, so that's going to be a tough one. And then on the women's side, I'll let you touch on that. But that also is going to be it's going to be interesting. I think on both sides down, there's going to be a lot of new players in and out, similar to the West.
Yeah, I think that is important to note. There's some new players coming through. For the men's side, I do want to comment saying the Pittsburgh Steel Toes with Ben Pinkelman were outstanding. He's in the USA 7 setup as well. So there could be an upset on that side of the portion. So the women's, as you mentioned, the New York Locals take on the Texas team, and then the Pittsburgh Steel Toes take on the Southern Headliners, who just produced a lot of champagne rugby last time. How do you see these 2 going?
Yeah, Waka obviously lost in the final with the Locals, and she got a chance to train with us this week. It was nice to see her on form. I just said to Richie Walker yesterday, I don't see Waka losing twice. First run out with the girls, but she doesn't like to lose, and she's world class. So likely going to go through to the final here. And then in the other side, I would say it's going to be a barn burner. But because Cal Juvie, she had those steel toe girls just really humming in that bronze medal game, and she just performed well with the Canadian girls at the Pac-4. So she'll be coming in hot. But likely a headliners local final is my prediction. How about you?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's going to be super tight again. It's so tough to call. That's the trouble with these games. But I do like the headliners after seeing them in action last time. Again, anyone's game. But let's switch across now and look at the United Championship as it stands. Of course, you've had 2 tournaments in the West, but only 1 in the East. So we have the experts that lead the United Championship on total points. So these are points from the men's and women's teams, how they finished. They have 44 competition points. Your Loonies, 32, Loggerheads 25, and Retrievers 19. Very interesting to see how these play out.
Yeah, gutted to see our Loonies men finishing bronze again, but I got to say they were super supportive through the whole way. I love the United Championship because it really brought, just specifically to our franchise, it really brought us closer. We supported them a lot more this year, and they supported us, so that was great. I think it's great for the league. It's great for the equality, but also it's really helping the franchises. All the franchises come closer together, both on and off the field, and supporting each other. So that makes it super special. And again, until the Eastern Conference wraps up this weekend, it'll be tough to see who finishes on top. But just one note with the headliners head coach Andrew Lockyer, I told him my goal this summer was to go to the finals because my favorite coffee shop in the world, Tate's Latte, is across the road from our hotel. So I sent him a picture a couple of weeks ago, and then I got a message after we won our first game, and I just showed up on my watch, and it just says, Tate's secured. See you in DC.
Oh, that's great banter between the coaches. It's brilliant. Oh, I love it. All right, Rob. So I want to thank all our listeners and viewers for their brilliant support. The glorious game of sevens shares so much passion. We love hearing from you, especially the reshares, the likes, the comments. Today's episode includes 2 standout players from the Western Conference, both in the Dream Teams, Brazilian Olympian and flyer Rafaela Zanellato, and South African playmaker, the legend Branco du Preez, both so humble and both stars on the sevens field.
Yeah, again, it's so great to have these athletes playing in the Premier Sevens. Branco brings so much to the men's side, and Rafaela Zanellato, she carved us up in the first stop. And like I said earlier, she's probably the most consistent player this year, most exciting player. And whenever she's in the hotel room or in the stadium, she literally just lights up the room and brings that energy, brings that globalism, and she's just so great.
Well, awesome. The Premier Rugby Sevens continues this weekend. Get your tickets for Pittsburgh. Support this amazing sport, which brings together so many brilliant cultures and people from around the world. PR7s.com, your new home for sevens. Schedule, social links, everything you need. Catch up on the previous events, tournaments, and matches. Massive thanks to hydration partner Good Sport, apparel partner Samurai, and the superb staff at the PR7s. It's time now for episode 8 of the Rugby Sevens Rollercoaster. It's Branco du Preez and Rafaela Zanellato. We hope you enjoy you sleek sensations. We're now joined by the most capped South African sevens player of all time, winner of the HSBC World Rugby Sevens Series on 3 occasions, Olympian and San Jose PR7s winner, Branco du Preez.
How's it, gents? Good to be here, and yeah, let's have a good chat.
Oh, it's so lucky to have you on here. Bye, Ducky, for your time. Now, I want to start. You just flew to America last week. For those of us that knows how far South Africa is, the jet lag is fierce. But then you featured for the Rhinos ex-Socal Loggerheads, winning the Western Conference Finals in San Jose. Must have been such a cool experience, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, I think the hardest part was just to get over the jet lag. I still felt like before the tournament started, I was like, I'm out of this because the jet lag is not gone. But yeah, what a great experience. I mean, playing for the Rhinos Loggerheads. Man, it's been a while since I played the game, and just to get into it again. And yeah, I'm so grateful for this opportunity that Frankie gave me, and even the Rhinos giving me to just be part of this. So yeah, very grateful.
Yeah, because I remember commentating some of your last games and that sort of thing. And it was a while ago, but your legs still carry you through, my friend. That jet lag. See you later.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like once you get started, you forget about that, and then once you're done, it's like that is still there, you know. But yeah, what a great feeling, man.
Well, first of all, congratulations on a big win on the weekend. And what was it like teaming up with your old Blitzboks friend Frankie Horn?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great experience, and just to work with him again, where he's the coach and I'm the player this time around, and we're not teammates because he's known as a workhorse, and you know, his style of coaching is more about grinding and putting the work, and you know, at the end of the day, if you don't get the result, that's about it. At least you know you put in the work. But yeah, great to be teaming up with him again, and yeah, he's a phenomenal coach. He knows exactly how the games work, and yeah, whatever he puts in, we just try to put out on the field.
I bet he also wanted to maybe get his boots back on. The fact that you were there playing, you know, maybe he was itching.
Maybe, but at the end of the day, you know, the lower back is not gonna last for very long. You know, I told him, it's like, just give me 2 minutes, then we can go again. Then you can just go back to the bench again. And he's like, no, please.
That's great. Robin and myself often want to get our cleats out and get back on the field. But I want to talk to you a bit about the PR7s. What an amazing competition. What an amazing tournament. The fact that you had the King of Sevens there as well, Wasali Sarevi, teammates alongside of yours, Matala Yuta from USA, Ioane Temba from Fiji, Jack Rampton from Jamaica. You're against legends. Dan Norton there, for example. How cool was it for you? You obviously played with and against these players in the series, but here you are, a domestic competition in the US, playing against and with.
Yeah, awesome, man. I mean, we had so a balanced team with all the big names in the team, and I mean, like, it just make life much more easier for you as a player, and especially for the younger guys. It's like when the older guys are just like start leading the team, you know, and then it just gets much easier for everybody to just follow on or like get on board and just ride the train, you know. But yeah, to play against like legends like Dan Norton, yeah, he's just that phenomenal guy that's every opportunity you give him, he's gonna tear it up. So yeah, he also had like a solid run this weekend. So yeah, looking forward to what's next for us. Yeah, but I think we're gonna regroup now. Just get the heads together, get the bodies to full competition mode again. So yeah, looking forward to what's ahead for us.
We always knew the PR7's Western Conference Finals would be super tight. But what's the difference between winning and losing? It seems to be one score in almost every game. And in the semifinals, tell us a bit about that first matchup against the Golden State Retrievers.
Yeah, like you said, all the games were like really close. But yeah, I think the mindset for us was to go into that game and just like hit around the ground running. I think we started off well, but then we lost a bit of composure in the game. We got a bit overeager, and I think that's one of the big things that can throw big teams off, especially when you get overeager and you just want to do everything quick, fast. But yeah, that's why I said it's good to have like great leaders in the team just to take control and slow the game down when it needs to be slowed down. And yeah, I think where we slipped up a bit was in our defense, and because the pitch was a bit slippery. But yeah, we spoke about it. Just come closer. Let's give him the outside, and then we can work towards that. But yeah, there was like some opportunities where we still slipped up, where the defense was a bit wide. We was closing the width of the pitch instead of just great spacing. But yeah, this is a small thing, so we're gonna work on in trying to get better.
Yeah, those high stakes, high drama, because this is the great thing about the competition. You go straight into the knockouts and you win that nail biter 17-15 against the home side, the Retrievers. So you set up a thrilling final against the Rocky Mountain Experts, the most consistent PR7s we have seen in the men's competition in the last 2 years. So give our audience, Branco, a bit of insight into how that final was contested and how and why you think you won it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really physical final. I think with mine going into the final, it was like for us, retain the ball, keep the ball, and then put some points on the board because we know they were much bigger than us. They were a really big team with physical players as well. And for us, it was just to keep a ball, retain a ball from kickoffs. We had the guys that can compete for it. And once we got the ball, we could spread it out wide. I think we still had like a few moments that we just like didn't know what to do with the ball because it was just like throwing it around like 5 meters and then we take it into contact. And I think that made us a bit tired, you know. And then after that, when we started throwing the ball a bit wider, the opportunities were out there. I think where we scored our first try, it was of a scrum. Just because I think the winger came a bit closer because we had a really Teba at center running a hard line there. So they thought I'm going to give it to him. And then the space was on the outside. So yeah, it's like this, the smaller details of the game was, I think we managed it much better than the semifinals, I think, in terms of knowing where to eat, when to make contact, and yeah, we also had the big boys that can fight that big fights if they need to be a big fight, and yeah, we needed to get the ball wide and for our speedsters to get into the corners.
Yeah, remarkable finish, 15-12 the score, so tight. But what is crazy about the game of sevens, of course, is you need both bodies, as you said. You need the fast, elusive players, but you need the big heavies up front to do the hard work. Without the balance, you don't have it. And what's hard with this tournament is that really is your second game, and you're done for the whole tournament. Of course, you did enough to get to that final, which is great.
Awesome, yeah. I wasn't sure how it works. So once I got there, I wasn't sure how it worked. And then they're like, yeah, you only played 2 games. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, so that was funny. But yeah, really great experience though.
Yeah, obviously coaching the women, we won the first stop in Minnesota a few weeks ago, and I felt completely uneasy, anxious, stressed as a coach. It's like more of a drawn out tournament than it is 2 stops, if that makes sense. So everybody, we won, and like, how do you feel? On Dallen obviously was all over me, and I'm like, I won't feel good till the end of San Jose. But you know, I was really proud of Frankie and your boys, and also on the women's side, down with the experts women, they were 4th place as well going in. So both 4th place teams had an upset in that first semifinal clash and got it done. And in terms of overall competition points, your Rhino, Socal Loggerheads came into this, you know, obviously with just 1 point, meaning you had to make that final. So, you know, pushing through to DC, what's on your minds the whole time while you're playing, and were you just focused on what was in front of you game by game, minute by minute?
Yeah, I think we spoke about it of qualifiers and where we at on the log. But I think the main focus was for us to find each other as a team, to put in the hard work on the field, because we know it's not going to be easy, But I think the boys pulled together really nicely. The build up towards the tournament was really good as well. We get to know each other a bit better, and I think that's the main thing about this game is like get to know your players and know exactly their weaknesses, the strong points as well. And I think that's the one thing that we did better, if I can say it like that, in terms of getting to know your players and know exactly which guy can do what things on the field. And yeah, I think that was probably the best thing for me coming here, not knowing who's going to be my team or who I'm going to be teammates with, but to get to know these guys, it's phenomenal. And just to see the hard work they put in to make a success of this. Yeah, but like you said, it's still not the end. There's still a lot of hard work that needs to be done. But yeah, I think we're starting on Wednesday again, and then it's back to the grinding again, and just make sure all of us are on the same page.
Yeah, we can't wait for DC. It's going to be so great to see which teams come through as well from the eastern side. But I want to ask you about your remarkable sevens career for South Africa, the Blitzboks, representing them for more than a decade. I've had the honor of commentating a handful of your events over the years, and one of the things I really love is that you're smaller size, but you absolutely smoke people on defense. You're up on the last line of D and put in the biggest hits. So if you look back in your career, are there a few moments that stand out as some of your favorite?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a phenomenal roller coaster as well for me. Starting back in 2010, just a young boy, not knowing where to go next, and then got the hold of it. And then I think 2018-19, that season was probably the best season that I ever had after losing out on making the Rio Olympics team. Yeah, that was kind of a setback for me, but it's a game. You need to move on, and yeah, I learned some hard lessons as well as a player, as a human being, and also just some phenomenal achievements that I had. I remember the tournament in LA, where I think I only got like 1 second. There was like 1 second left on the clock, and it's like Coach Neil Paul is like, "Okay, you on?" I was like, "Okay, cool, I'm on." And then we had a chat about it, and he's like, "How do you feel?" It's like I was so in my own world, not focusing on what's happening on the field actually at that time. And then went on. I had to make the kickoff, put it on the money, and then things just happen after that. I don't know if I'm still dreaming or what, but every time I think about it, I'm trying to figure out like what happened. But yeah, that's also one of my big memories that I will never forget. It's like it's also a lesson for me as well. Like you don't have to play all the games. When you get your opportunity, it's what you make of it. And there was another opportunity for me to go onto the field and do what I can, Yeah, but it was phenomenal. And then yeah, as you know, Vegas was one of my best tournaments or best stops. I love Vegas just because the field was a bit smaller. So me as a super don't have to work that hard. So yeah, I mean, it's been a phenomenal career in the green and gold jersey, and I just want to say thank you to everybody that supported me, man. That yeah, through ups and downs, my family always been supportive, and just the people out there that always believed in me. And like sometimes you fall into a dip, like, can I still do it? Can I still do it? Am I too slow now? And all those things, they just flew through your mind. And with all the support, I can still say that I'll be able to do whatever I can, yeah, just that I need to believe it. And yeah, yet again, I got an opportunity to play in the PR Sevens, man. This is phenomenal. I mean, I've been out of the game for, I think, I ended last year, yeah, and then I played some 15s in the Czech Republic. Nothing like this. I promise you, nothing like this. Nothing like this. But yeah, another great opportunity for me, and I love it. I love it.
Well, I obviously loved watching you light up the world for over a decade. But I love your comment about, one thing I challenge with, whether I'm working with kids or adults, especially with new players, if you play 14 minutes, you play the whole tournament, or you play 1 second. And we had a 20-year-old in our Loonies women's squad that I found playing in the fall, and she's considered a 15s player, but for me, she tackles everything, and she's a honey badger with the ball. So I spoke with her through the whole winter leading up to the season. We brought her in for the second round. She knew her job, focused on it, and the Socal Loggerheads obviously had 3 unbelievable Fijians in the middle of the field that were dancing around us all game, and the game was on the line. So I subbed her on in the last minute, and I pulled her over and I said, "How are you?" She goes, "I'm ready." I said, Why did I bring you here? She says, "To smash people and get you the ball." I said, "Okay, that's all I need you to do." And she came onto the field, and the Fijians started to dance in the middle of the field, sawed them in half. They knocked it on, and she just looked over at me and smiled, and that was it, game over. So pretty phenomenal as a 20-year-old to get that opportunity. But like you say, whether you're out there for 1 second, you're out there for the whole game, you just have to do your job and take what you have.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, there's not a lot of people that get this opportunity to play on the highest level of the game, and if you get an opportunity, just make the best of it. It's like you said, 1 second, 7 minutes, 14 minutes. If you go out and you give it your all, you can be proud of yourself, man, and you can be proud of the team that's got your back. And like you said about the young lady, she know what her job was. It's to smash people on the field and get that ball back, and that's exactly what we want as playmakers and the guys that can dance. We get the ball back, and then we punish the other team. So that's it, man.
Branko, I wanted to touch on the playmakers. Watching you and Cecil Africa over the years, obviously a delight, especially when you're on the field together. The 2 top point scorers ever for all time for the Blitzboks. So if you look back at your teammates, players you've shared the field with over the years, could you select a handful that you've really enjoyed playing with?
Yeah, like you mentioned, Cecil Africa. I would love to play with Sanatla again, Werner Kok, Kwaka Smith, Cheslin Colby, even Justin Geduld, although he's been struggling with some injuries, but he's still on top form. Even the coach now, Philip Sneyman, he was a workhorse. Carl Brown, he was a Frankie on, just to mess up a ruck situation and get us the ball back. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of players that I still want to just eat the field with and just make some great memories, man. But yeah, like you said, with South Africa, so people were asking me, like, how do you guys get it right? Just when one of you do something, the other one is just there to support. I was like, we don't train it. It just happens. It's like we have this chemistry, like when things happen, it just happens. So yeah, maybe I shouldn't say this, but like every time when we had like a one-on-one with the coach, and he would like say, if you and Cecil are on form, the team will be good. So yeah, that's the small things that still pushes me every day to work out and reach every goal that I set out for me as a person and as a rugby player as well. So yeah.
Well, you're beautiful to watch, and I don't know how you defend that. So I'm glad we were retired when these guys played. But over the years, the other way, which opponents would you rate as some of the best you ever faced on the World Series?
Like team-wise or like individual players?
Both.
Over the years, Argentina has become a real threat to the whole circuit. The New Zealand boys, they just unbelievable, and even the USA boys as well. Once they got the hold of it of the game, they were just smashing things. Like every time you go into a different game, like especially a Fiji game, it's like your mindset has to change like a whole lot. It's not just like a game out there. It's like you need to kill the ball, because otherwise you're gonna defend for 14 minutes, and they're just phenomenal boys that can throw the ball around. And I mean, there's a lot of teams that on the circuit, and like individual players like a Dan Norton, if you give him space, he's gonna punish you. Perry Baker, those guys are just fast. Once they got through the line, mid sweepers, like there's no way I'm gonna stop these boys because they're too fast, man. But yeah, it's like every guy has their ability to bring something else to the game, and for those boys, they just fast and they really understand the game and they understand where the space is on the field. So my heads off to them. Yeah, and some of them I still keep going on the circuit. So yeah, well, all the best to them as well. And yeah, I know everybody's back in camp working hard because the season's almost on its way again. So yeah, looking forward to watching the boys again.
Well, Branco, it's been a delight to see you back on the field, of course. We'll see you next in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., as Audi Field hosts the 2023 PR Sevens Championship on August 6th. Thanks so much for joining us on the Rollercoaster, my Quackerburger.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you so much for your time. Thanks for chatting and have a good one.
You sleek sensation, you. Bye, donkey. Tot ziens.
Let's see you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
It's superb to have Dream Team player from this past weekend in San Jose representing the Golden State Retrievers, Brazilian international and Olympian, Rafaela Zanellato. Firstly, thanks so much for joining us on the Rollercoaster.
Really, guys, appreciate for this moment. I think it's a big moment to some peoples and Brazilians because it's a very important opportunity to play in other countries and these things. And I'm very, very happy and think appreciated for this opportunity to say something and speak with you guys. I'm very, very excited for this moment.
Well, we love having you on. You were back-to-back Dream Team awards as well for yourself. So tell us what's it been like playing in America and playing in the Premier Rugby Sevens?
It's very amazing because I think the first time I'm very, very nervous when I come here and say, I don't know what happened. I don't know how you're feeling when I play with other players because 6 years I just play with the same girls and it's my first time. And it's very easy and because my team, I think, not my team, but I think the other girls and all the people in the Bay Sevens do this the best in the world. Do this moment very good. Don't have pressure on me, don't have nothing. The other girls say, just play your rugby. If you do some mistakes, don't worry. If you want to tackle, if you want to pass, if you just want to carry, just carry, don't worry. Everyone just going with you. And I'm very happy, and for me it's very easy. And my coach is very good, and the other coach too. I have other Brazilians, other teams, and have in the middle of the tournament have some conversation with me and Mari, Bianca, and have this conversation. Say, what was feeling? Everyone, man, it's so nice. Everyone is good, and I don't know, it's good. This feeling is like it's easy to play here and easy to stay with these people here. I'm very, very proud about everything here.
Well, I was talking with a number of the coaches and PR staff after the competition this week on Saturday, and your name came up a lot as one of the top performers. And congratulations, as Dallen said, the Dream Team back-to-back. That's a huge deal. And you're representing your country and your sport and your team and your family so well on this stage in North America. So congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it so much.
And for you, what is it like traveling around, spending the summer in the U.S., checking out all the cool cities and getting amongst it with other global stars?
Man, here in the U.S., it's amazing. I think I passed a long time in San Clemente and I visit a lot of places there. But I think for me, the best part, this travel, I think, is when I pass a long time with the other tutors in rugby and without rugby. It's just because it's very different, everything, the relations, the hugs. When I say good morning for someone in Brazil, you hug and kiss, and here you just, hi, good morning. It's very different. And I love this part of scooter, and I love this part to visit these places, and I love the part of that I pass in Rhinos because in the middle of the Minnesota and San Jose, I pass a big part in Rhinos. The other girls do this part too, pickups and what do you want to visit at some part of the city? Let's go. And after come training and pass some some learns for the girls. I learning all my life. I pass and teach all the girls, and I this have the both because the girls say the same thing. Everyone learns something in Rhinos or in another country, and pass for me. And I love, 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 love.
That is so great to hear. And that's the great thing about us is, Robin's obviously coaching. I'm one of the broadcasters. To see all of you players that we know from the Sevens World Series and international tournaments come together and play under the same roof here. So what has the level been like for you playing, for the Golden State Retrievers? You obviously have Ruby Tui alongside you, other good players, but you've gone against some very stiff competition in the last 2 tournaments.
Yeah, of course. You can see the experience of these girls, and it's very easy to play because the girl have a big communication and know what happened. If you do one run, everyone help with the confidence to run for your carry, or if you just need to do one tackle, every time I listen Ruby, Megan Force, and I think the more experienced girls, you see these girls never stop to talk in the middle of the game. And when you travel and play with the World Series, you see like the same. Everyone in other teams talk a lot, speak a lot, all the game, and everyone just pass all communication. And when you see one team don't have communication, you see this is a problem. And when I come here, I see this part of some big experienced girls, and I see I have my part to pass because I have the experience too, and I have this big experience to pass for some girls. I remember one girl played with me, the Seneca. Every time she comes say, "And now what happened? What happened?" Say, "No, okay, now open the ball. Your time. Let's go." And she say, "Oh, okay, let's go." And it's good because I can pass my communication. After the game, have some girls say, what do you see in this time? And say, I think this space is better to attack, or someone just, I guess, of course. And it's good to pass my experience for the girls, and the girls like to receive too.
Yeah, that's so great. Now I want to touch on, you were finalists at the first tournament at the Western final recently, going down tightly in the semi-final affair, 10-7 against the experts who ended up winning it. The reason why we call this the Rollercoaster Sevens is because every game is like that, up and down. Then you finished off the tournament, you beat the Rhinos X Loggerheads 17-7. I mean, what was going through your mind? Because obviously, you had to make those top 2 spots to get through to DC. It wasn't to be, it was very close.
Yeah, I know. I think the sevens is amazing because sometimes you lost, sometimes you win. Seven is like this. You need to put your heart on the game, and you need to have a big connection with your team. If you have some parts of the team no have a same connection, I think the result like you win or lost depend of your what you're feeling in the game. And I think it's very nice. I think in the first tournament, the level, it's very, very nice. You see the level, you see have a lot of team. If you see the final, wow, when I watch the final, I say, wow, it's amazing, this level. If you see like the first game, we have a big level because in the last minute, everyone tackle, keep back, and the Loonies just carry the ball every time, and it's amazing. I love the final of the Minnesota. I watch I think a couple times this final, but I think in San Jose, all the teams have new girls and have a small time to create this big connection, and I think have some players have a good put your best game, but the connection of the games, I think, is not like the same level for the Minnesota. And but when you see all the games, you say, man, it's amazing, because if you comparing the other year for this year, you see the next level for the Pay Sevens. And I love to wait in participation of these things and stay here. And and play with these girls and just I'm sorry.
Oh,
No, that's great. I mean,
yeah.
Rafaela, like year one to year two to year three, like, and as you know, I was on the road, as I mentioned, like all year basically since last year, trying to find the athletes. And you know, I would say there's probably 90 girls that didn't make our team that I would have picked last year or would have picked the year before. The standard's so high. And in the West, it's been so tight, like so tight. There was a couple blowouts in the Eastern Conference, and I think there'll be some changes going into this weekend. So yeah, the standard's very high. And with, you know, just in Minnesota, we had a week on the ground, Dallen, and in San Jose, we had 2 sessions. So, you know, I said to some of our athletes that were, you know, heartbroken or you know, gutted with the performance, I'm like, you women played out of your boots. And I even said to some of the other men's players and stuff too, you know, in 2 sessions, a day and a half of prep, you know, the standard was insanely high, which is super special. Now let's just move on to your team's focus of retrievers. How did you enjoy playing for Coach Griffin? And what was your team's focus from the first stop to the second stop?
I think it's amazing to have a other coach because you see when you have one coach for a long time, you just have a comfortable when your coach just say something for you because you have a good communication or connection with your coach because you created this in a long time. And when I come to the first time to the Griff and the Baker, another coach, the assistant coach, these two, I think it's very different personalities and perfect because the Kelly is more, she have a more communication with your feelings or something. In Baker, no, Baker is more to say the truth. If you do some mistakes, say no, it's not good. If you do this very well, shit, come say, okay, very good, done, good, next. And I like this 2 type of this personalities because because my first coach is like the very similar to Baker, very say the truth and say everything. And my coach now in Brazil, the William Broderick, it's like very similar to the Kelly Griff because try to understand more your feelings and try to understand more what you feelings in why you play and what your superpower and put this 2 together and creating a best place you can do your best rugby. And I'm feeling very, very good. I'm very excited to, I don't know, have another moment with this coach. I don't know what time is, but if I have this time, I'm very happy to do this again. And I think with the retrievers, I think the retrievers for this tournament just think about step by step. The first game is the more important because you need to win the first game to pass to the final. And I think have some stakes in the middle of the game, but I think all the team try to fight in all the game. And when you see in the end of the game, everyone is very tired because try to put your heart in all the game. But yeah, it's sevens. Sometimes you lost, sometimes you win. It's like this. And I think for lost the first game and have a conversation. Everyone say have one more. Let's go preparing. And the team, everyone is very excited to play the next game and put the next level because they want to not have the best level and say, yeah, have one more game and let's try again. And I think for the last game for this decision is very good and everyone can put your best rugby on the field.
Yeah, that's so well said. This global game gives us so much, and you connect with people from all over. So I wanted to ask you, because every country is different, how a player gets seen, how you get identified for playing for your country, for Brazil. How did you progress to the national team to represent your country in sevens?
It's very good. I love because I have a good preparation in my club to enter on the national team. And when I enter national team, I think I just put my body and my mind in the same page, because when you enter on the high level and the high performance, you don't understand. You need to stop to do some things you do every day. When you have your normal life, you just do everything you want to do. And when you play in high level, you don't have this time. You need to put everything in the same page. You need to take your responsibility for every day. You need to, when you wake up, when you say, I need to have one a big breakfast, and after a big recovery, after the training and everything, because everything important. When you stay in high level, everything important. And I love to pass this process and play in high level and understand this, and now can understand what I can do and what is Rafaela and what is high level, and put both things together. And I think I'm great now. I'm feeling very good. And that's this.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to say, what a remarkable weekend for your country when you qualified for the Olympic Games in Paris. Can you shed some light on that and tell us what emotions you were feeling? Because that must have been remarkable.
Yeah, it's amazing, because the qualifier to Olympic Games, the Olympic Games is the best tournament in the world. I think everyone wants to play one Olympics in one time in your life. And my first Olympics is the mid of the COVID, and to have the big experience, because I think everyone can talk and have a lot of pressure of the media and some things. And I like, but I think the mid of the COVID, it's hard, because the world have another page in the, I don't know. I don't feel so good, because I understand what happened in the world, and say, it's Olympics, yeah, but the world passed for other thing now. But I think now I'm very happy to play this Olympics. And when my team win the last game with Colombia, man, I cry a lot too. Everyone, let's go and play in the Olympic Games. Is, I think, the first time with the new girls, have a different girls now in the Brazilian team, because the team changed, because have a lot of girls past the year, and you have Odin and when you finish your career, I think in the other Olympics, 4 or 3 girls, very important for the Brazilian, finish your career, and now have other new girls to come in, and I'm very excited to see what happened in these Olympics.
Yeah, so are we. I mean, we can't wait. You'll join New Zealand, Australia, USA, Ireland, and France in that 12-team tournament. And the rest of the qualifiers are still coming up. So they're set to go up like a frog in the sock. I know Robin's Canada are itching to get going next month. It's going to be amazing to see who ends up there.
Yes.
I love what you said about just getting that break out of that full-time environment where it's tough to. It's tough to, we say sometimes you live there and visit there. As far as like a high performance athlete is concerned, you have to live there every single day. So still getting to play at a high level a year out from the Olympics, while getting to have different experience, different coaching, different competition, different teammates, different food, different everything is so great. Dallen and I, after our World Sevens Series career, him for the US, got to travel around with Tiger Rugby and Atlantis, and I got to play for the Dog River Howlers. So it was still higher level and fun without the pressure. Playing without the pressure is a good reset for a number of you world-class athletes to then go back into your environment, fresher, hungrier, maybe with some different ideas, and then you get to go play against your teammates from the PR7. It's super wonderful. For me, I know how passionate you are. You embody I think the World Sevens Series and all the passion, all the excitement on and off the field. And so just an opportunity for you to give your family and friends and fans from around the world, all those Brazilian fans around the world, a shout out in Portuguese, as loud and passionate as you want.
Can I speak in Portuguese?
Yes, please.
Bom, eu estou muito, muito feliz de poder estar participando de tudo isso. Eu sei que meu inglês não é muito bom, mas eu fico muito feliz de poder falar algumas palavras e poder explicar o quanto as pessoas do Brasil têm grandes oportunidades e consegue, e sim, poder conquistar um mundo fora. Então, eu estou muito, muito feliz de poder estar dando esse primeiro passo e poder conseguir, sim, participar do PR Sevens e me destacar lá, mostrando que o nosso nível do Brasil, a gente tem totais condições, a gente tem uma boa preparação para poder estar em alto nível. E eu espero conseguir realmente mostrar isso para todo mundo e espero que tenha outras brasileiras logo menos, e a gente ainda tem muita coisa para ver brasileiras na final em DC. Temos aí Bianca, Luísa que vai jogar ainda, Mareninha que já passaram. Então, cara, vai ser incrível poder ter essa experiência de poder ver elas e depois ver outras brasileiras aqui nesse lugarzinho incrível. Tô muito, muito feliz e muito grata por essa oportunidade.
Rafaela, I'll translate because half of my wife's family is Portuguese, the other half's Italian. I think you were saying thank you to your family and friends, and whenever you get the ball, you're more dangerous than climate change.
Perfect.
But listen, we want to thank you so much for coming on the Rugby Sevens roller coaster. We've really been inspired by watching you play on the field. We can't wait to see you at the Olympic Games for Brazil and also in future PR7 events down the road, as you said. Again, what a heck of a season you've had, and congrats on 2 excellent tournaments.
I appreciate for this moment. I just need to say thank you for everyone to watch this and for you both for creating this very big moment. I know my English is not the best, but I'm very, it's good to try to talk something or try to pass what my feeling or my values for everyone. And I'm very, very happy. And I'm very happy to see you guys, Luanese and the other teams in the final. I'm very excited. I know I have one Brazilian in your team, and I'm very excited to see Bia on the final and in all the games. And thank you so much for everything.
Well, thank you very much. Your English is better than Robin's, so you're definitely in the top 2. I love it. Thanks again, you star. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, see you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Rugby Sevens roller coaster. Visit pr7s.com to buy tickets to the 5 tournaments in 2023.
Austin, Texas, June 17th.
Minneapolis, Minnesota, June 24th.
San Jose, California, July 15th.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, July 23.
And the PR Sevens Championship on August 6th.
Connect with us on social media at PR7s and watch any of the previous tournaments on the Premier Rugby Sevens YouTube channel. See you next time. You sleek sensations.